NCCI calls for federal government's fiscal interventions in manufacturing, agriculture.
Ronaldo unveiled in Saudi after £175 million annual deal move.
Don't try wider now. Joshua won. These and others will come your way on today's edition of Headlines after the timeout.
Thanks for joining us on Headlines on OSBC Radio 104.5 FM Oshobo, Voice of the West, Nigeria. My name is Oluchi Amuda, and pairing with me is
Adeyemi Abode.
52 days to the presidential election. Major political parties have heightened activities to garner more votes in the election. The Labour Party candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, is currently enjoying a wave of endorsement from prominent Nigerians, among whom are former President Olusegun Obasanjo and foremost Ijaw leader Chief Edwin Clark. The People's Democratic Party is also canvassing for votes from the populace, with his vice presidential candidate and Delta State Governor, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, meeting Governors Godwin Obaseki of Edo and Doye Diri of Bayelsa State to re-strategize for the victory of the presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. This is also as the presidential candidates of the All Progressives Congress APC, Senator Bola Tinubu, met with Islamic leaders from the northwest in Kano on Tuesday, ahead of the resumption of the presidential rally today in the ancient town. Speaking in Abuja at a town hall meeting with women, Obi unveiled his agenda for women in the country as he promised them better standard of living.
And with just 52 days to the conduct of the February 25th presidential poll, the leaders of the People's Democratic Party in Oyo on Wednesday in Ibadan, capital of Oyo State, declared that with or without the G5, consisting of 5 governors on the platform of the party, its presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar is winning the poll. The G5, led by Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, with its counterpart in Oyo, Seyi Makinde, Benue, Samuel Otom, and 2 others, have vowed not to support or campaign for Abubakar until the national chairman of the party, Senator Iyorchia Ayu, is removed from office. However, while addressing journalists at the press center of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Oyo State Council, Iyagaku, Ibadan, the PDP leaders in the state, namely the former Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Chief Jumoke Akejide, erstwhile Minister for Special Duties, Edawode Oyelese, former Deputy Governors of Oyo, Alhaji Azim Bolarumi, and others, said the G5 is media's creation. Speaking at the press conference ahead of today's Freedom Walk for Atiku in Ibadan, Akejide stated that the media has blown the issue of G5 out of proportion. G5 is a non-issue. We are talking about the fate of more than 200 million Nigerians whose fate is at stake. According to her, she can speak for Governor Seyi Makinde. He has no problem with the presidential candidate of the party. We are going to resolve the G5 matter soon. There is silence of the graveyard in the All Progressive Congress because they have their issue there.
For a vice presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and governor of Delta State, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa did not betray anyone in the party's presidential primary. His chief press secretary, Mr. Olisa Ifeajika, has said, describing Okowa as a loyal party man. He argued that his principal heeded PDP's directives and decisions in all matters concerning the presidential convention. Speaking at a news conference in Asaba, Ifeajika recalled that the Southern Governors Forum at a meeting in Asaba resolved and later reiterated in subsequent meetings in Lagos and Enugu meetings to work towards the realization of Southern presidency. He pointed out that Southern Governors Forum comprised members from various political parties, explaining that the resolution of the forum was only a wish which was not intended to be binding on all political parties.
And elder statesman and leader of the South-South, Chief Edwin Clark, has also endorsed the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, in the forthcoming election. He made the announcement at a media briefing in his residence in Abuja on Tuesday. The 95-year-old leader of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum said his endorsement of the former Anambra State governor followed a thorough examination of his plan for the country by the forum. He noted that Obi's pathway to sustainable development is commendable, just as his desire to carry along people from the Niger Delta in his governance, stressing that Nigeria must remain a country with equal opportunity for all citizens, irrespective of tribe or religion.
In the meantime, in a bid to find common grounds for the region's security and socio-economic development, a group identified as the Southwest Development Stakeholders Forum has invited leading presidential candidates to a parley in Ibadan. This is contained in a statement issued by the group spokesperson Alhaji Olalekan Ajia and made available to newsmen. Reports say that the group is representing more than 30 grassroots Southwest interest groups and associations across party lines, as well as religious and ethnic affiliations.
And a group of concerned prominent members of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria has described its sister organization Miyetti Allah Kutal Ore, led by Bello Bodejo, as notoriously seasonal endorsement group parading itself as a pastoralist. In a press statement issued on Tuesday, the group stated that the attention of the Fulani ethnic nationality in Nigeria is drawn to a phantom endorsement of Bola Tinubu, the APC presidential candidate, by Miyetti Allah Kutai Ore, a notoriously seasoned endorsement group parading itself as a pastoralist association. The statement, signed by Alhaji Sani Ahmed and Malam Aliyu Jibril Isa for Magba, explained that there was no consultation with any pastoralist association in the country for Miyetti Allah Kuta Ore. Thus, their solo endorsement was done without the approval, non-consent of any pastoralist organization in the country.
President Muhammadu Buhari has directed the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning to engage with the National Assembly to reverse some of the additional expenditure totaling 1.32 trillion naira that the lawmakers made in the 2023 budget. The president spoke at the Presidential Villa Abuja on Tuesday after assenting to the 2023 appropriation bill with a total expenditure of 21.83 trillion naira, as well as the 2022 supplementary appropriation bill. The budget is the eighth and last of the annual proposal of his presidency. Buhari observed that the bill he signed is 21.83 trillion naira aggregate expenditure, an increase in 1.32 trillion naira over the initial executive proposal for a total expenditure of 20.51 trillion naira. He said he signed it as passed by the National Assembly to enable it to be implemented without delay. The president explained that the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act would enable the administration to respond to the havoc caused by the recent nationwide floods on infrastructure and agricultural sector, while noting that, as is customary, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning would subsequently provide more details of the approved budget and the supporting 2022 Finance Act. And this is going to be our focus on your view segment this morning. The President directed the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning to engage with the National Assembly to reverse some of the additional expenditure totaling 1.32 trillion naira that the lawmakers made in the 2023 budget. And the number to dial is 0818-377-5777. The number once again 0818-777-5777.
Global Leaders Academy, always a leader.
Thinking of where to get qualitative education for your child? Think of Global Leaders Academy. Our creche, nursery, primary and secondary schools are established in tandem with global standards with qualified and experienced teachers. At Global Leaders Academy, we have state-of-the-art facilities such as comfortable hostel accommodation with maximum security, well-equipped science laboratory, school buses, adequately furnished library, and many more. Oh yes, worship centers are available to accommodate each student's preferred religion. We also take our students for excursion on a regular basis. These and many more reasons are why Global Leaders Academy has been a choice school for parents who desire qualitative education for their children. Visit us today at Global Leaders Academy, located at Plot 1A and B, Oroki Estate, Lameko Junction, Oshobo, or call 0815-928-0037. At Global Leaders Academy, we are not led, we lead, and always a leader.
Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has said his administration was committed to following due processes in handling chieftaincy matters in the state. Adeleke said this when the Committee on Chieftaincy Affairs, headed by Reverend Bumi Jenyo, presented the committee's report to him in Oshobo, the state capital. Headlines recall that the committee was inaugurated by the governor on November 29, 2022, with a mandate to look into controversies surrounding appointment and installation of some traditional rulers in the state. The committee was particularly saddled with the responsibility of looking into all appointment of traditional rulers after the July 16 governorship election. The governor commended the committee for delivering its report timely and promised to study the report and also implement the recommendations contained therein. Adeleke said the committee's report, when implemented, would enhance the peaceful coexistence among the people of the state, particularly as it regards chieftaincy matters. Meanwhile, Governor Adeleke on Tuesday said the dirtiness of the state always embarrasses him anytime he moves around the state at night, just as a charged civil servant to always keep their offices and surroundings clean. The governor said he will soon begin to pay unscheduled visit to the offices. He said from now henceforth I will be paying offices unscheduled visit, and if I find out that your surrounding is dirty, you'll be questioned. Your offices must be clean because you are representing Osun State. The governor addressed civil servants at the governor's office, where he met religious leaders, traditional rulers, political actors, among other stakeholders.
The directive of President Muhammadu Buhari to the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning to engage with the National Assembly to revise some of the additional expenditure totaling 1.32 trillion naira to the 2023 budget is our focus on your view segment this morning. And the number to dial is 0818-777-5777.
And let's take this human angle story. The police in Ogun State have recovered the remains of Oreoluwa Fati Loye, son of the slain couple, Mr. and Mrs. Kehinde Fati Loye, who were murdered and set ablaze by suspected assassins at their residence in Abeokuta on Sunday. The corpse was recovered from the Adigbe River along Obadaoko area of Abeokuta. According to information, the deceased's hands were tied before he was pushed into the river alongside the family's maid, who survived the incident. His corpse was reported to have been found by fishermen on Tuesday morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Dr. Akipo, the line.
Welcome, sir.
Well, looking at what happened during the last disaster in Bayelsa and other states of the federal of the country, one would beat the people of that state and all the region states, people would be given of what happened. But for the presidency to say that that amount should query, I think they have to really meet between themselves and harmonize it. They have to, instead of the president say they should reduce it or they should lower it,
sir.
A middle-aged woman simply identified as candidate stormed and died after allegedly engaging in a sex room with a female friend at a hotel in Ikere Ekiti, headquarters of Ikere local government area of Ekiti State. It was gathered that the deceased, said to be a popular herbalist in the community, died on Monday in the hotel room where he had visited with his female partner. The identity of the woman was yet to be ascertained as of the time of filing this report. One of the sources said that what he can say is that the man died in the hotel room after having sex with a woman said to have been spiritually laced with thunderbolt known as Mago.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention has said that recent experiences in the country with the arrival of COVID-19 Omicron variant show that travel restrictions did not have any public health benefits but were disruptive for persons and businesses. According to report, Dr. Ifedayo Adetifa, the Director General, stated this in his official Twitter handle while addressing Nigerians who raised concern over the rising COVID-19 cases in China, United Kingdom, United States, and other countries. He said that COVID-19 has and continues to follow a different course in Nigeria and most of African nations.
As insecurity in Imo State intensifies, another police station has been raised by gunmen. The latest incident occurred Monday evening at Afo Ata Divisional Police Headquarters in Njaba local government area of the state. The burning of the station came barely a few hours after the convoy of a former governor of the state, Ikedi Ohakim, was attacked with 4 of his police orderlies killed. It was gathered that the attackers got to the police station and 2 explosives at the facility.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning. You're on. What's your name?
I'm Fadaka Adamo Otoyame from Utoyame South Local Government.
You're welcome, sir. Please
My
go ahead.
contribution to the presidential matter is when a president or governor knows the number of days he's going to use in office, why extending more than a tenure the tariff of Nigeria concerning budget? So what 5 months to use is preparing for more than 5 months. How do we say to it? Please.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's quickly look to sports.
Let's look at what is happening.
Soccer legend Pelé was on Tuesday laid to rest after having his coffin carried through the streets of Santos in Brazil as the public paid their final respect to the sporting icon. Thousands of fans gathered to watch the procession to say their last goodbye to the 3-time World Cup winner ahead of his private burial. The casket dropped in the Brazilian flag passed through the neighborhood where Pelé's 100-year-old mother lives. As manners gathered, the former Santos FC star, originally named Edson Arantes, died on Thursday, aged 82, following a battle with colon cancer. The former New York Cosmos star, considered by many to be the greatest footballer of all time, after the procession was buried at the Nakupo Ecumenical Memorial Cemetery overlooking the Santos Stadium.
And Cristiano Ronaldo was on Tuesday officially unveiled by Saudi Pro League side Al Nassr after a record €175 million a year move in a deal that runs until 2025. The 5-time Ballon d'Or winner joined Al Nassr as a free agent on Friday after leaving Manchester United following a controversial interview. He was unveiled at Al Nassr 30,000 capacity Mansour Park Stadium, Riyadh, after completing his medical in Riyadh. Since Ronaldo made his sensational move to Saudi, Al Nassr Instagram account from around 860,000 followers jumped incredibly to 7.8 million followers and counting.
Anthony Joshua's former trainer Robert Garcia believes a clash with Dante Wilder this year would not last long, following a tough last few years in which Joshua has suffered back-to-back defeats against Alexander Usyk and lost his world titles. Now his promoter Eddie Hearn has a plan to rebuild. The plan involves first taking on a top 15 opponent, then moving on to a rematch with Dillian White before finishing the year with a huge clash against either Wilder or Tyson Fury. With that being said, Robert Gasser, who trained Joshua for his most recent loss against Usyk, has won the British heavyweight against fighting Wilder. Till soon.
And lastly from me, Italian soccer legend Giuseppe Bergomi has declared that both Napoli's Victor Osimhen and Inter's Romelu Lukaku offer physicality and give depth. The 1982 World Cup winner made the submission ahead of the Serie A clash between Inter Milan and Napoli at the San Siro today. Osimhen is having a banner season at Napoli with 9 goals in 11 league matches, a tally that sees him top the Serie A scoring charts. And on this note, we say bye on today's edition of Headlines from 104.5 FM, Voice of the West, Nigeria. It has been the do of Adeyemi Abodere and
Oluchi Amuda.
The producer is
Motunrayo Ayegbayo.
While the production advisor is
Abimbola Babatunde.
Our colleagues will be around tomorrow morning for another edition of Headlines. From us here, we are saying
good morning.
Yes, strut up. OSBC Radio 210.5 to the world. Yeah, man, state of Ashu. Yes, no must come by my hand, make we do this. Yes, strut up fire set to it. Boom.
OSBC Radio, Voice of the West you can trust. OSBC Radio, Voice of the West you can trust. One upon the fire. Voice of the West you can trust. One upon the fire. Voice of the West you can trust.
Don't worry, don't you fret. OSBC, well it's a 104.5. Don't worry, don't you fret. OSBC, I'm the voice of the West, I will say. Follow every year radio station with a wider reach. And connect with them modest really massively. Every day, every time I will take and lead. Yes, yo, follow better know we informative. OSBC we educative. OSBC we qualitative. We are number one in the entertainment. Fire sentiment. Yo, into the very best of radio programming. 100% entertainment. Qualitative news, information as it brings. Yes, we're educated. Still, OSBC Radio 2.04.5 FM. Numero uno sound of the Sahara. Award and sentiment. Boom!
Oh, you still smoke?
Of course I do. It's become a habit with me.
Smoking is injurious to your health and that of others. Stop it.
OSBC Radio 104.5 FM, Voice of the West. Don't touch the dial.
Studio time is 8 o'clock. This is OSBC Radio 104.5 FM, Voice of the West, Nigeria. Good morning. Let's take news. Governor Ademola Adeleke has extolled the electoral decision of the people of the state in the last governorship election, which enthroned him as governor, saying among the catalogues of his leadership role is stable electricity supply that will continue across the state. Governor Adeleke stated this at the annual prayer program of the state government held at the state secretariat. The state houseman called for support and prayers from all and sundry for the fulfillment of his campaign promises for the people. He stressed the need for civil servants and the entire people of the state to embrace cleanliness in their working and living environment to make the state a shining example in promoting environmental standards. At the annual prayer program attended by traditional rulers, Muslim and Christian clerics, the 5-point agenda of the state governor was the main point of supplication and prayers to God. The Ohio Governor Ademola Adeleke has promised to study the recommendations of the Committee on Review of Traditional Institutions in the state. Governor Adeleke stated this by receiving the report of Reverend Bumi Chenyo-led committee. Receiving the 3-volume report from the chairman, Reverend Chenyo, Governor Ademola Adeleke thanked the committee chairman and his members for doing a thorough job. He appreciated them for the tenacity of purpose with which they discharged their duties in the interest of the state. He promised that he and his team will study the report and implement the recommendations with high sense of fairness, saying that his administration is not out to witch hunt anybody, but to settle all the imbroglios bedeviling the traditional council in the state. Presenting the report, chairman of the committee, Reverend Bumi Chenyo, commended the governor for the confidence reposed in them, saying that some of the traditional rulers who presented petitions that do not fall within the mandate of the committee will be compiled for the attention of the incoming Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs. In the meantime, Governor Ademola Adeleke has reinstated his commitment to uphold the rule of law and enforce due process, particularly in the area of chieftaincy affairs in the state. He made a declaration while receiving the report of the Committee on Chieftaincy Affairs from the members of the committee headed by its chairman, Reverend Bumi Chenyo. The committee was inaugurated by Governor Ademola Adeleke on November 29, 2022, with a mandate to look at the controversy in the chieftaincy affairs of Osun State, particularly with respect to all kingship appointments made under July 16th governorship election. The chairman of the committee, Reverend Bumi Chenyo, while handing over the committee's report to Governor Adeleke, declared that its members discharged their duties with equity, fairness and justice without compromising on its mandate. He said the committee came up with far-reaching recommendations to assist the state government to make future decisions in the area of chieftaincy affairs of Osun State. Governor Adeleke, while responding, commended the committee for delivering diligently on its mandate and promised to study the report and implement the recommendations contained therein. He insisted that the committee's report, when implemented, would contribute to the peaceful coexistence among the people of the state as regards traditional ruling affairs, while announcing that his administration will ensure total respect for rule of law and respect for due process. The event was attended by the Deputy Governor, Prince Kola Adeosi, Secretary to the State Government, Honorable Teslim Ibalaye, Head of Service, Mr. Samuel Anyoloye, a national leader of the PDP, Professor Wale Oladipo, PDP Osun West Senatorial candidate, Akogunlere Oyewumi, among others. The Director of Income Tax Osun Internal Revenue Services, Mr. Wasu Olaitan, has urged members of staff of the agency to be more dedicated to their various duties in the year 2023. Mr. Lighton gave the charge during a prayer session organized to usher in members of staff back to office after the New Year holiday. The director gave kudos to all staff of the agency for the good job done by them during the year. He admonished them not to be weary in discharging their lawful duties due to the shortcomings of the 2022, but should rather see them as new hope to greatness in the year 2023. That was the state news. Good morning.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ ìròyìn ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Gómìnà Adémọ́lá Adélékè ti gbóṣùbà fún báwọn èèyàn ìpínlẹ̀ yìí ṣe pinnu láti dìbò fún lọ́dún tó kọjá, eléyìí tó sọ di aláṣẹ lórí ìpínlẹ̀ yìí báyìí, tó sì fi ṣèlérí pé lára èrè ǹjẹ́ táwọn èèyàn ìpínlẹ̀ yìí yóò rí dìmú nínú ìṣàkóso ní iná ọba tó jágere yíká tìbútòrò ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun.